What's up, you guys? Joe Dobby here. I am now a Deck Out Gaming affiliate. Use Joe Dobbs Deck Out at checkout. Deck Out Gaming has tons of singles for Pokemon, Dragon Ball Super, and Digimon TCG, as well as One Piece. They now buy list as well, so don't hesitate to reach out, and they got your back. Really high customer service ratings. Thank you guys, and yeah, let's get to the video. What's up, YouTube? Joe Dobby here, and we're finally back with Digimon, and this is going to be my first deck profile for EX-4's release this weekend, and it is Gallantmon. And I really wanted to run the Chaos Gallantmon here from Trash, and I wanted to run the whole line, the purple-red line, so let's see what you guys think in the comments below with this profile. But the name of the game is trashing and potentially getting that alternate win con with the Takato. So diving right into this, we got 4 copies of Digimon. When attacking, you want to be able to draw one, and you're going to draw one for sure, because everything has Gallantmon, Growlmon, and Guilmon in its name. Very good card. 2 copies of the Guilmon from EX-2. It's just a search for any Growlmon, Gallantmon, and a Takato. So it's nice because it's 2 hits for 1, and sometimes, you know, it acts basically as a memory boost as well, just minus the delay and the memory effect. But we do play Gravity Crush for that, as you can see, and I'll explain why. But yeah, the searching is very important in this deck, and being able to play Takato is free in this deck as well, which is why I want to see him as early as I can. 3 copies of the Guilmon here. When attacking, trigger draw 1. Just very good overall. It's a draw 2 when attacking with Digimon. Good early as well for that search. So the double Guilmon start with these 2 guys right here, very formidable. And then you've got the new Guilmon from EX-4, which I think is absolutely powerful. So on play, if the total trashes of both players add up to 20 or more cards, this Digimon gains Rush. So it gains Rush, and it's this Digimon gains Rush. So you can Digivolve into this Guilmon into anything over that, and it should still have Rush. That said, it combos very well with the BT12 Takato, if you guys don't already know. I'll explain that in a little bit as to why. Next, we have 4 copies of the Guilmon from EX-3. This is just to get your mills started. On deletion, it also deletes Floodgates. This is going to play a very heavy role against Alliance decks, because there's going to be a lot of little dudes that are going to get suspended or that are going to be used to trigger Alliance. So just having the ability to delete smaller Digimon can come in very important in this set. Next, we have the BT12 Growlmon, and this is our first card that actually free plays Takato if you don't have one already out, which I think is very good. Once you have the mem setter out anyway, you can start playing the 3-cost Takatos from hand without too much of an issue, giving them blitz and all that. But I do like this card a lot. In addition to that, the DP boost is always welcome. So EX-4 Black Growlmon, only 3 copies of this. I might drop it to 2 and add 1 Growlmon X antibody just for that extra draw and for that increasing the maximum DP that I can delete, because there will be a lot of 4K power creeped level 4s or level 3s with like really good effects. So a lot of Alliance cards in the level 4 slot are also 4K. So sometimes that increased DP from the 3K can be very good. But we'll see how it goes in testing, but for now, this Black Growlmon also is a trash engine. So trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then you can return a target that you want to Digivolve into or need in raising to your hand. On deletion is the same thing. It just searches something from trash and adds it back to hand, so good recursion. Next, the EX-3 Growlmon. So it can Digivolve for 2 over anything with Guilmon, which is your entire rookie lineup, so that's awesome. And when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3K or less. Again, sometimes that Growlmon X Anti might come in clutch. If no Digimon is deleted by this effect, trash the top 2 cards of both players' decks. So you're really building that Chaos Gallantmon from EX-4's effect, getting that on play as soon as you can, and I think that's a very, very important thing. Moving on to the level 5s, we have 4 copies of the EX-4 Black War Growlmon. So I do like this card, but I do kind of like the old War Growlmon a little bit better. So when digivolving, both players trash the top 3 cards of their decks, then choose any number of your opponent's Digimon whose total DP adds up to 3k or less and delete them. For every 10 total cards, add +2 to the maximum DP. So what makes this really huge is, once again, Alliance, green especially, can swarm the board very quickly and have a lot of things kind of like suspended. And if you can't swing over all of them, this card for example, theoretically, at 20 cards in trash, you will be able to delete any number of your opponent's Digimon whose total DP adds up to like 5k, which can be pretty good, right? So I do think there is use for that Black War Growlmon for sure. And this is my tech, just 1 copy of this Black War Growlmon. I think it's a pretty good card to have just so when you do get into Megidramon or your Chaos Gallantmon, you'll be able to unsuspend. It's also really good so you can Digiburst and bring out a Gallantmon that could potentially just allow you to Digivolve and extend your plays. But that's pretty much all he's there for. I might cut him, honestly. 4 copies of War Growlmon here, and I do really like this guy. This is the War Growlmon that I think is better than the Black War Growlmon in EX-04. Digivolve for 3 over a Growlmon in its name. And when digivolving, both players trash the top 3 cards of their deck, and then you can play a Gallantmon or Takato for free, no caveats. So as long as there's 5 or more cards, which is gonna be very, very quick, Takato can be played. And the more Takatos you bring out, hey, that's value, that's stocks. Or if you need something to digivolve into, or if you want to play the Gallantmon from EX-04, you know, and get that rush potential, pretty good stuff. Next, we have 3 copies of the Raid Gallantmon. You guys are probably wondering, what? Raid Gallantmon? But I do like Raid here because if you're able to swing over your opponent's highest DP Digimon, and you're unable to delete anything as a result of that, then, you know, when attacking, you trash the top card of your opponent's security stack instead. But that said, it's just a good board clear, and this is kind of like the name of the game. You really want to keep your opponent's board low. I'm kind of playing for Alliance, Ravemon, the things that want to come back from trash, the things that want to get value from having a wide board. You want to shut that down quick, and I think this Gallantmon is there to kind of take over. 1 copy of this Megidramon. This is really just so, you know, you can play like Gallantmon and Takato on deletion, and you can trigger its own on deletion through Chaos Gallantmon's trash effect. So Chaos Gallantmon's trash effect, which you'll see later, is delete something to play it. So if this Megidramon happens to be out and it's the only thing you've got, you can at least go into it and start deleting things, which is pretty nice. Next, Chaos Gallantmon. Finally, EX-04. Trash effect. By deleting one of your Digimon with a Digivolution card and Gallantmon in its name, you may play this card without paying its cost. So pretty much your targets are Gallantmon, Megidramon, and that's pretty much it. On play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 7k DP or less. For every 10, add +2. So at 30 cards, that is a 13k, and then at 20 cards, that is an 11k. So that's pretty good stuff. Again, which is why I think that Growlmon X Antibody might be switched in. I might play more of that, simply because that will lift it up to 12k potentially, and there's a lot of 12ks that can easily be deleted that way, which I do really like. And last but not least, we are running 2 copies, excuse me, of the Gallantmon Crimson Mode. So this can easily be subbed out for Gallantmon X Antibody, but I'm just testing to see how this card would do when I finally get everything. And when digivolving, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest DP. We got that. And when attacking, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Add 1 to the number of cards. So it's a good late game finisher and late game punisher, as long as you're able to get to late game. And hopefully you can through all the deletion effects that you have with the Gallantmon support and archetype. And 2 copies of the Memory Setter Takato from BT12. This is the combo that you can play for, which is why I like Gravity Crush in this deck more than I like Memory Boosts. Because Memory Boosts, when they sit there, you're kind of tempted to use them to extend your plays. Gravity Crush, you really have to hold on to that and know when to play it. And I think when you have this set up for game, this is what you want. So by placing this Tamer and one Growlmon and one War Growlmon from your trash in any order as the bottom Digivolution card of one of your Guilmon, that Digimon may Digivolve into Gallantmon in your hand for its Digivolution cost, ignoring its level. The Digimon Digivolved by this effect gets plus 2k DP for the turn. So ultimately, the combo that I'm trying to, hopefully, the ruling that in my head, hopefully it all makes sense, is you place this Tamer, so this Takato, and a Growlmon or War Growlmon, and one Growlmon and one War Growlmon, so both of them things, in trash as the bottom Digivolution cards of one of your Guilmon, right? So you start at 3 memory for the turn, you play out this Digimon, let's say late game, both players add up to 20 or more cards, so this Guilmon is gonna gain Rush, which means it can attack this turn, the same turn that you play it. So you're gonna go to 0 memory, you're gonna be able to trigger this Takato on that Guilmon to place the Tamer, a Growlmon, and a War Growlmon underneath, right? To Digivolve for its Digivolution cost. Now your only target would be this guy, Gallantmon, because it's not a Gallantmon in its name, which is why I chose this Raid Gallantmon, which is why I think it's a very important card. Because now you have this guy that will Digivolve for 4, which is why the Gravity Crushes kind of come into play and are very important. Because now you can go into, you know, your Gallantmon and keep turn, hopefully. And if you don't keep turn, you have Blitz. It's not the end of the world, but late game, you probably want to keep turn and try to get game. So now that you Digivolve into this Gallantmon, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6k DP or less. Sure, you did that. When attacking now, because it's still your turn, and you have Rush from that Guilmon effect, you can delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6k DP or less. If no Digimon was deleted by this effect, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack, right? So this is kind of your finisher. Assuming you're unable to delete your opponent's Digimon of 6k DP or less, and your opponent has no blockers, when you attack here, you can trash the top card or the last card of their security stack and swing for game, which I think is a pretty good finisher. Now, that said, this has raised a larger argument for substituting Gallantmon Crimson mode for Gallantmon X Antibody. And the reason why is Gallantmon X Antibody, if they can unsuspend actually, and Digivolves for 1. So the more Gravity Crushes you're able to hold on for this turn, the better. And you can more successfully close out game that way. So it's up to you guys. I'm probably actually gonna make the switch now and test the Gallantmon X before I test the Crimson mode. But moving on to the 3 Takato Tamers. So this gains you memory back as well, right? When you Digivolve. So when you're gonna Digivolve into the Gallantmon with Raid, you're gonna delete something, gain a memory, and then you're gonna attempt to delete something, probably not gonna be able to with the Gallantmon, swing, trash top, swing for game. Now, when you would Digivolve into Gallantmon or Growlmon in its name, this Takato will actually gain the Digimon Blitz, which is huge, because then you can Blitz in, do incremental damage, do damage per turn, and also delete per turn, setting up that Raid Gallantmon even further for game. Next, y'all, we got 3 copies of Gravity Crush. And yeah, like I said, the idea is to hold off and take care of these Gravity Crushes, play them in a very big swing turn that you can use to pretty much seal the deal and win the game with. And last but not least, 2 copies of Crimson Blaze. This is just to counteract any free playing things. Like, I think Alliance plays, there's a lot of things. Like, Ravemon will play itself for free. Cherubimon will give everything on deletion, play it again. The Alliance cards will be like, play Terriermon. There's going to be green support that's going to be like, play like this green Digimon, this level Digimon. There's going to be a lot of that. Beelzemon's still a thing, so play Impmons, right? So being able to have Crimson Blaze can be very clutch. But yeah, that said, guys, that is the deck profile for my Chaos Gallantmon build. I know it's not what purple specific players are looking at, but I think this is probably one of the main ways to be local competitive or even more so in like be an Ultimate Cup or main tournament competitive. But that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, there's still gonna be Digimon, guys. I love this game still, no matter what opinions I may have with regards to organized play. I still really love this game, and I still will continue to play it locally. But BT14 is when I'll probably dive back in. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll keep going with the playtesting for the current sets that we're in. Keep building, keep theory crafting, and I hope that I give you guys some ideas for your own builds. Bye.